And a lot of it had to do with the plane crash itself. They really worked that well to where I was like gripping my seat, and I just thought, man, if like that was, if I would say there was a reason to see it in a theater, it would be for that, because it's spectacular. Also, if you have any kind of plane flying anxiety, do not see this movie.
No. Stay away.
It'll mess you up.
They will not be showing this on a plane.
No, if they show this on your plane, it's because your plane is going down.
Yeah. Double Toasted live show in Brooklyn, New York. That's going to be April 1st. Well, I didn't know what to think about this movie. I said, I guess we just back to just dumping movies again in January. Because this movie seemed like nobody gave a shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, I barely saw a poster, but I hadn't seen any marketing for it.
I've seen a ton of marketing. I was just surprised at the marketing. People hit me up because people said, man, can you believe this shit right here? I was like, what? They got a movie about a plane. Guess what it's called?
Plane.
I never would have guessed in a million years.
We watched a trailer.
When you watch the trailer, I mean,
you don't guess the name at all.
Listen, it got a plane.
Yeah, it's true. No, they can't be sued.
No, they got it. They got a plane. I mean, and like I'm not gonna even. The jokes just write themselves. You can't even make jokes about it. I done heard so many people talking about, yeah, it's plane, all right.
Yeah.
At least by the name, I was like, all right. Yeah, I mean, listen, the shit. The setup is just too easy.
It seems like one of those things like Unobtainium, where it's written down as a placeholder. We're gonna come up with a name to go in here at some point, and then the shit went out, and it's like nobody switched the title.
I think Gerard Butler's the one that came up with the name.
Well, what took him about 2 seconds?
Yeah, probably.
he was probably ready to go. Just call it. I'm out. I'm like, shit. All right. It's called a plane.
You heard the man.
Yeah.
You guys got any better ideas? Nope.
This movie was his name was so straightforward. Plane. I thought it was a Pixar movie. I thought it was I thought it was a movie about a talking plane. You know,
Then it's gonna be confusing when you go to look up movies because there's planes and there's plane.
And there's plane.
Disney.
What I do?
Yeah, I didn't know what. I looked at this and I said, I never would have thought that this was a Gerard Butler action movie. I would have thought this was a damn animated family film right there about a happy-go-lucky plane just trying to make a name for himself. And when that plane crashes on an island in the Philippines, of course, Gerard Butler is the one to get everybody out of trouble. But then they got this mysterious black dude in the back. Just be looking. He's going to prison for homicide. And it's a bad combination. And, you know, it's one thing for this plane to get struck by lightning and all of the electricity goes out and they have to do an emergency landing. But Gerard Butler, like, man, his black ass is loose now. I mean, I don't need this. This plane I can handle. But
like, what do we do about
this
him?
Crash. We're lost. We can't contact anybody. Oh, and there's a murderer. Right?
Yeah. And he looks like a murderer. I mean, every time he's looking around, he's shifty eyed and everything. I mean, he's like, when they land on this island and everybody's trying to get their bearings together. He's trying to get everybody calm. And this fool looking back, he's looking at everybody like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
To be fair, they were
true. Yeah. And I didn't say that they didn't deserve to be killed. And that is Mike Colter, a.k.a. Luke Cage, as the murderer on the plane. But of course, you know, this is that kind of movie where, well, you know, there's more to this man than meets the eye. You know, surely, I mean, we like Mike Colter. He was Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a story there somewhere where he really didn't do what they said he did. I mean, come on.
Or maybe he did, but come on, he's Luke Cage. Give him a break.
Yeah. And if he did do it, man, he had a reason for it.
Luke Cage always going to prison.
Exactly. and you know what? Hey, he better get to like this dude or at least deal with him, because now that this army, these guerrillas are these separatists and on this Philippine island over here, you think this dude is bad news. Wait until you see these brown folks come up, these guns screaming and hollering. You know, these are the kind of people that capture foreigners and just keep them for fun. They collect them.
No, they sell them.
They sell them, yeah.
Yeah, shit, to who? Because a few of them, I was like, man, you ain't worth nothing. I mean, there's a couple of people I'm like, hey, we gonna get nothing for you.
Well, you talk to
It's all about the volume. You capture a bunch, you figure half of these are going to be. They got some money somewhere.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you just keeping some of these as pets or something? But anyway, these people are bad news, and they keep people for ransom, sex slavery, all kind of bad stuff. And you need a cold-hearted killer like this man right here to help free these hostages. Can he get along with this, what they think is a homicidal maniac? Can they team together and actually unite for the good cause of freeing these hostages right here and get them back on the plane?
And what's the plane doing all this time? Yeah, I know y'all in danger and all, but I'm here for the plane.
Right.
Yeah. Plane just over there. I don't know.
I did my part.
Hey, I didn't crash. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Plane. And we'll be back with our review.
Captain Torrance, Flight Commander. How can I help you? Fugitive extradition. Get him on board. Let's have a good flight.
Boy, it's shifty looking.
I'm like, for a dude that wants to make people think he's cool, he's always
giving a look.
People, yeah, just and make sure to position himself between chairs and shit so he looks extra creepy, like an animal in the Serengeti or something. Like he's lying about to pounce on everybody on that plane.
I wasn't scared before, but he's plotting.
Yeah. As soon as he get loose.
Yeah. He said, you better be glad lightning got this shit because I was about to take all this down.
Army won't even go there anymore. The clock is ticking. Every minute matters.
Still looking, boy. You know, we should do a drinking game. What's Mike looking at?
I know, yeah.
Always in the shadows.
Just
Always
looking.
creeping. Shit, yeah, but you say you don't want to die tonight.
Yeah.
We can count those minutes in lives.
Again.
No one cares what really happened, but they say redemption can be found in the most unusual places.
Boy, now I'll tell you one thing, that was badass. He went John Henry on. Yeah, he grabbed that sledgehammer and
Went to work.
Yeah, he like steel. He was like Shaq.
It was fun watching this with the audience. Every time he came around the corner on somebody, the next swing, everybody was just like, "Oh,
Yeah, boy. Yeah, you didn't want to be on the wrong side of that sledgehammer right there. And they showed it too. He just knocked somebody's jaw right out.
Yeah. Man, somebody was chilling too and caught it.
That's the way you do it.
He turned that corner.
Yeah.
wait, no!"
They didn't even have time to do that. I'll tell you what. They went to heaven or hell not knowing what hit them.
That's true. Yeah, it wasn't even like an acknowledgement that something was happening.
Shit, if there was a spiritual afterlife and they asked him, how'd you get here? Like, I don't know, but my jaw is killing me right now. Shit. So you can already tell what kind of movie this is. First of all, let's talk about what kind of movie this is. It's the kind of movie where you always say to yourself, at this point, these terrorists, they need to start doing like background checks or studying whatever it is. They taking over a little bit more, man, because you know what it is, man. These terrorists is one of those movies where they with the wrong guy. You know, they always take over a building, a train or a plane, and there's always somebody on there that got some special set of skills. True. Or they messed up the mess with the cop that's got nothing to lose, or the cop that don't play by the rules, or that dude that just has military skills. He just pulled out his ass. You know this. You know that's the kind of that's the kind of movie this is right here. And you know, right here we have a movie where, you know, these dudes have taken over a plane with the guy who's, keep in mind, he's a terrorist. They've taken over this plane with the guy on board whose specialty is killing terrorists. He was part of, I ain't gonna tell you what it was, but he was part of an organization where they probably the most they got nothing to lose.
That's true. They get guys who are like, well, I was going to commit suicide, but I guess I'll join up with you guys instead.
Yeah. He was like, shit, y'all ain't got nothing on me. That is my skill to take you out. So, you know, that tells you what kind of movie that you're dealing with right here, man. Hey, listen, I don't know how these guys feel, but actually, let me ask you something. How do you feel about this movie? What do you think about this?
How do I feel about this movie?
Yeah, how do you think about this? What do you think about this?
I feel like it's like, you know, Gerard Butler makes a lot of these kind of cheesy action movies. London has fallen, Olympus has fallen, Angel has fallen, and so many others. And I thought this was one of those, except done really, really well.
Okay. Shit, so you had a title right here. You know, hell, you should have called this Plane Has Fallen. Yeah. I mean, it did. Yeah. See, I'm not going to mess with y'all with this, man. This is one of these reviews I decided tonight where I'm just going to come out and just tell you what I thought about it and put my rating right there. You know, for me, it's a rental. You know, I don't think I need to go on a long way around this to tell you that this is, and I'm not even saying that's a bad thing necessarily, but it's a rental type movie. You know, you can, like I said, you can look at the title. You can look at the title and tell that they didn't put too much work into like being anything outside of what it is. I mean, the shit is called Plane. Like they could have called it Plane Has Fallen. They could have, hell, I would have taken a pun, In Plain Sight. Brace for impact. You know, one of Steven Seagal titles. You know, this movie, the title of this movie, Plane, tells you that this movie is about as straightforward as you get. It is a straight action film, straight actioneer. I think they actually tricked Gerard Butler into being in this. He thought he was making another Olympus Has Fallen. He didn't know he didn't know he was just making. See, this for me, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's just, you know, it's just a typical, almost generic action film. You know, this was not a script. This was an instruction manual. You know, because it has everything that you have in these action movies. You know, you can almost, like I said, you could pull these pieces from other films, and I'm not asking for things to be original. I'm not. I'm not asking for that at all. If you are, then that's a bonus. That's a plus for me. But you know, with this, it was kind of like, all right, you know, I've seen this thousands of times over, and that's. Hey, I don't think it's trying to actually lie to say there's anything different. You know, it has everything that these type of movies have. You know, they got those brown terrorists who are scary because they got guns and crazy eyes, and they got them scary ass goatees, their greasy hair.
I'm in charge. I send your list.
Damn snitch.
I know.
This bitch. We friends, right? You won't let me live.
Where is he?
I got him. Save the passenger. Choke his ass. What are you doing? Boy, he wrestled him down. Am I gonna have to have sex with you now? Get your ass down. You know, they got, as you can see, they got those scary terrorists. They got the hostages. Not much of the hostages. You know, the hostages are there to give, you know, them something to rescue. They're there to give them, you know, the protagonist and the hero something to do. Some take a bullet to show you that those terrorists, that they mean business. They ain't anybody around here. Speaking of heroes, you know, those are the types too. Like I said, we got the sensitive tough guy with Gerard Butler. I'll tell you what I do like about Gerard Butler in this. Gerard Butler, he's a tough guy, but like I said, he's the sensitive tough guy. Like he's the guy that cries after he kills somebody, you know. The one that,
you never have the hero regret any of it. Yeah. And he was actually like, do this.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that was weird about that is that I didn't really understand the guy because they don't say that he has skills. Like Mike Coulter, we know Mike Coulter is he's killed before and gonna kill again.
Yeah.
But Gerard Butler, I was just a little confused about his character because they don't set him up with any kind of skills at all. But he's a badass. I mean, he's choking people out. He knows the moves to do.
You mean that video wasn't enough?
Yeah, well, he punched somebody, but there's a scene where he gets into a fight and he's got special skills moves. And I'm thinking like, all right, this guy knows what to do. Yeah, I mean, you obviously have taken people out. So I don't get all the crying, and all the you being upset about things. But it's cool that he's not the tough one. He gets his ass beat a lot. He's the one that's there to actually. I'm here to mostly rescue more than kick ass. That's kind of cool. Mike Colter is the is the guy that normally Gerard Butler would have been in the Olympus Has Fallen.
Right.
With Gerard Butler, even with him being the guy, like I said, it's refreshing to see the hero who, he has a little bit of, he has a little bit of humanity about killing people. Like I don't like it. This is nasty to me. But he is a type. He's the type that has, he's Liam Neeson, man. He's got a dead wife and he's got a daughter out there he's trying to get home to and hang out with, and he's just. That's one of the reasons why he wants to get everybody home. He has a big heart, wants to get them home, but I got to get home to my daughter.
There is no full rescue team coming anytime soon, and we're not going to survive. Deli and I
trying to hear that shit.
Are we leaving or not? Get to the point.
Oh, you signed the passengers.
Right.
Oh, we're trapped. Oh, we have a radio. Man, this is some bullshit.
That's all they did.
Some of them were like, some of them were cool. Sit your ass down. He landed the plane. What do you? One of them girls were like, be cool, man.
We only have one chance, and that is me flying us out of here in this thing. If I didn't believe it could be done, I would not put you guys back on that plane.
Yeah, you also said the plane was indestructible at the beginning of the movie, so
they got it working again.
Again, the reason why I call this generic is because they have, again, all the things I listed there you see in any other movie. Even the dialogue is ripped from other films that is said over and over again. There's one piece of dialogue was like, "That's your plan? You got a better one?" I mean, we've heard that over and over and over again. And I'm not saying it just can't be enjoyable, because it can, but on a very basic level. Because I saw this movie could be punched up. And speaking of punches, like some of the fight scenes are cool. This is one of those movies where things aren't choreographed. Things. This is like street brawling. And these people fight dirty. In fact, it's kind of stupid the way they fight too. And I'll tell you why after this clip. Because Gerard Butler. Usually Gerard Butler is the guy that goes in and takes action. He's the one to throw the first punch. Sometimes I gotta take this guy out before he gets me. But Gerard Butler just be on the phone, and some dude will come behind him and knock him upside the back of his head out of nowhere. I was like, damn, that ain't right, man.
I'm okay. Okay, now we have no radio. I don't know what island we're on.
Phone check, homie.
You want an island of whoop ass.
You want that phone too goddamn long. It's my turn.
Stop it!
I like the way he faded out while he still getting his ass whooped. They still fight right now. This is so this is something where it could use a little bit of a punch up. And that is why I immediately said that this is a rental, because I think even when I was looking at the trailer, I was like, well, unless there's something that I don't see, maybe these people turn to, there's vampires in here I don't know about or something, or there's some twist or something in here. There's, there's a bump up. I mean, then this looks like the kind of movie it is. Again, not a criticism when I say that. It sells itself as that type of film. If you look at that trailer, you like me and say that's a rental, then that movie, it delivers on that. And I don't think it's wrong to to like the movie for that. I saw some places where they could have made this better, and it would have just taken some simple steps in writing to do that. But then, like I said, that's me. It sounded like you like this better than I did.
Yeah, I did. But it's funny. It's sort of like the reverse with us with Megan, where it was like, yeah, this is good, but it could have been better. And with this, just to look at it, it's like, oh yeah, this is like a Liam Neeson action movie, right? Except with Gerard Butler, except it's got some Captain Phillips mixed into it. But also just throughout, I was like, you know what? Usually with these movies, I'm rolling my eyes and just kind of going with it. But I was way into this more than I expected. And a lot of it had to do with the plane crash itself. they really worked that well to where I was like gripping my seat, and I just thought, man, if like that was, if I would say there was a reason to see it in a theater, it would be for that, because it's spectacular. Also, if you have any kind of plane flying anxiety, do not see this movie.
Stay away.
It'll mess you up.
They will not be showing this on a plane.
No.
Have your ass stand up screaming and hollering.
Yeah, they show this on your plane. It's because your plane is going down.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're right about it being kind of like that generic action film, but they had just so many little flips and touches that I like. The fact that Gerard Butler isn't the badass. I mean, maybe he was in the military before or something. He kind of knows how to handle himself, but he is not. I mean, you got Mike Coulter, who's the real badass, but then you got also a bunch of mercenaries. And usually when mercenaries show up, they show up just to be jarheads who get killed. And they're actually competent themselves.
Yeah.
And even everything with the passengers, I was like, you know what? This plays out in a way where, yeah, you're going to get some who are, you know, they're irritants or they're assholes, but others who are like, hey, we're scared and we're just trying to get through this. And I was just surprised by how much I was like a thrill, like holding my breath through most of this movie.
The plane landing, because it doesn't really crash, you know, because he's one of those pilots that, you know, he's Denzel, you know,
he know how to land a plane.
Yeah, he knows that, you know, he's the guy that knows how to perform magic with this plane almost. So, but the plane landing is cool. The lead up to it is cool. You know, they're playing on the fears of flying. It's cool. It's a great setup for that, except for some of the stupid ass people on the plane. I mean, they told certain people to sit down. The moment they got up, dead.
Oh, I know. I know.
I was like, oh, come on, man, come on. You know,
especially a very important person too.
Yeah. And I think watching that plane go down, that it's done very well. It's really after that happens that this turns into the movie that I'm talking about.
Okay.
You know, it's turns into that action film that I'm talking about. You've seen a lot of. And you know, I would say that I think that, well, first of all, you know, I've got you sitting over there. What'd you think?
I'm more on Martin's side. I enjoyed it. Look, this is one of those January films where I just come in thinking like, yeah, it's gonna be terrible. But no, I was actually sitting there and I was actually enjoying a lot of stuff that was actually going on. But I'm also on the same side as you on one thing, though, the dialogue. I hated dialogue in the film. It bothered me. But no, end all, I enjoyed it.
No, there's plenty of reasons to. I feel like there's more reasons to watch this at home than on the big screen. That plane crash is only so long, you know, before, you know, like it's just a few minutes. The majority of the film takes place on the island. And none of it is filmed like in a way where the cinematography is that great. In fact, it looks like video sometimes when they're down on the ground. No, I think, you know, watching it at home on your TV, getting some HelloFresh, you don't have to pay that expensive price for that nasty theater food. You know, Martin want to murder me right now. Listen, I got to talk about the HelloFreshness.
Forgot he had one today.
Yeah, waiting for him to do it.
I warned you. I tried to tell you. You didn't listen to me though. But yes, people, you know, I don't really encourage New Year's resolutions out there, as Martin said. Well, I didn't say it. Martin said. Martin says New Year's resolutions for losers.
Was that a quote?
That's a quote. That's what you said. But if you have a resolution to eat better, save money, then you're going to win with HelloFresh right here. HelloFresh is a winner for many different reasons. Listen, what they give you, the ingredients that they give you.
Alert from updates available.
Oh,
they give you that too?
Do they give you that too? HelloFresh just updated their menus. Hey, they give you ingredients and these meal kits that prepare food that is just as good as eating out at a restaurant. And the best thing about it is you made it. And also, I don't have to tell you about, you know, eating out at a restaurant. It's even cheaper than grocery shopping, man. It's about 25% cheaper than grocery shopping and takeout. And the recipes that they have, I mean, you're not only saving money, but you're saving time. They got these recipes that can be made in about 15 minutes. And also, you got great meals. Just because they're quick to make, don't think that you know, these are like, you know, the microwave TV dinners or anything like that. No, we're talking about things like falafel power bowls, seared steak. Sounds good, don't it?
That sounds good. Make me some of that tonight.
Oh, Southwest pork and bean burritos over there. You know you like that pork over there. Oh, folks, they got all the good. You look at the pictures right here and see all this good stuff that they have. They also got a lot of variety. Because some of y'all talking about, well, you know, I'm a very picky eater. You know, I'm all on the vegan and I'm all on the vegetarian. And they got that for you too. Snacks such as baby back ribs, chocolate chip brownies, and everything in between over there. Listen, you know, your mouth is watering right now.
It sure is.
It sure, I'm a little bit hungry. You know, I'm gonna give myself the gift of HelloFresh. I'm gonna go right over here and gift myself 21 free meals, and you can too. How do you do that? Go to HelloFresh.com/doubletoasted21 and use the code doubletoasted21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. And you're gonna get that from America's #1 meal kit out there, HelloFresh. And I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this portion of the show. And also I want to thank all of you out there for all that you do in supporting us. Thank you. And continuing on here. Now, here's where I thought that they could have punched this up. Because listen, as an actioneer, as a movie you just sit back and have some thrills with, because there's some scenes in here that are fun. When those missionaries were taking out some of those terrorists, it was fun to watch. But I look at some of the things that just don't seem like it just wasn't there for me. And when I mean it wasn't there for me, I'm talking about like the chemistry between Gerard Butler and Mike Colter. You know, I don't know if they could have used more humor. I don't know if they could have had more, you know, emotional moments together, or just a moment where they got to understand each other, because at first they were against the odds, but they don't really do a lot with them, man. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's the kind of movie where just like, go in there and get it done. Let's get to it and let's get these people what they want. Let's get out of here. But I thought that they could have done more with them. Like I said, this could have used a punch up in the script with character. There's no chemistry between them at all.
It's funny because I thought about that, but I was like, well, that would make it like every other action movie. But the fact that they're like, well, we got an alliance, and because we're both working on this thing, but you know, but it is like, hey, they said you murdered somebody. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. That's got nothing to do with me in this right now.
Yeah.
But you say it would be like every other action movie. I ain't gonna be
your friend.
Well, you know, when you say it'll be like every other action movie, it's already like every other action movie. So why not, you know, put some more character in there? Like I said, there's different scenarios you could have had, because they're just straight action heroes. There's not much character to them. You know, we see all kind of movies where it's the same script over and over again. But hey, you know, we always say, man, those characters are amazing. You know, I look at something like Glass Onion. That's kind of a weak actual murder mystery in a way, but those characters are so much fun. That's what you remember when you walk away. And so for an action film, I thought, man, it'd be great if we could get that from these. But you know, for me, that it just wasn't there. So, you know, again, that's just me. There were moments that felt like without the emotion that's there, because even with the passengers are there to, you know, again, to cry and make you get a sense of danger for them, but they're not real personalities or characters. You know, with just enough to get you into the action and get you by, it felt like I was playing Far Cry in a way.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, it felt when they say it felt like a video game, that's what it felt like. It actually felt like there were moments, because you get these mercenaries who come in later. They don't really have names. You know, they're not real characters either. When you get right down to it, it's fun to watch them take the bad guys out. And when they start doing that, you do feel like you are in a, you know, you're playing Far Cry or a shooter where you're just taking nameless people out. I will tell you this director ever wants to make a Far Cry game. He'd be perfect. Yeah. Because there were moments, I will say this, when Mike Colter was sneaking around with that big ass sledgehammer, I was like, man, I can't tell you how many times I went in stealth mode in the game and did the same thing to people that this dude is doing right here. Like I said, man, it's not, I don't want it to seem like I'm saying there's no fun to be had from this movie, because I'm not. I watched it. I had some fun with it. I just felt like this is going to be the movie for a lot of people where it's going to pop up on, you know, you're going to see the picture pop up on your streaming queue. And years later, you're going to be like, I think I saw this movie. Or maybe it was that other action film. I don't know. Maybe that other movie with a plane. I don't know. That's kind of what it seems like to me. So yeah, it's a rental. I mean, it's not, I'm kind of stopping at a plane rental, but that's not a bad thing really. It's just, again, nothing special there. And if that's not what they were aiming for, then that's cool. And if people had fun with it, there is a good time to be had.
Sure. Well, there's nothing wrong with having some of these action movies like this. I mean, clearly it's not, because there's so many of them. And even if you go down Gerard Butler's IMDb page, you'll see the box, the cover to so many movies he's made that have been like this. So much so that when one is good, you'd probably miss it. And then you come to this. Now, this isn't Greenland, but I think it's way better than all those other ones he's done, because they've been schlocky. And this isn't a movie where its reach exceeds its grasp. It seems to, like, it's not trying to reinvent the genre, like you say, but what it's doing within its limited confines, I think it does very, very well, enough for me to be completely into it and not rolling my eyes through it. And I do remember, like, this was a good time. It was a surprising good time, which I like a surprise almost better than good. If I really enjoyed it, especially the opening with the plane landing. I was like, man, they did not have to go that far with it, but it really makes it. This is a low matinee for me.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't like it. I thought this would be like.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I mean, I don't love it. I think it's, like I said, it's very typical. It's like, it's very flat to me. It's forgettable is what I could say. Yeah. But it's not to say I didn't like it. Like, I'll watch it, I'll enjoy it, and then when I'm, like I said, I will not think about this next year, man.
I understand that.
Somebody said, way to put this. Somebody said, but does it have the charm of Commando? You remember Commando, because Commando did crazy shit, up and above. There was some. It might have not been great, but there was some character there. Like, I'd rather take something being bad, so I can remember, or something just, taking chances and doing something different, or giving me a lot of character. But like with this, it just stayed there in the middle, and and decided to just be as plain as possible. God damn it! Somebody got me.
Like you didn't plan that.
I did not. In fact, earlier I said I gave it a plain rental, and people in the chat, I was like. Man, there's just no way around it. But yeah, anyway.
Well, no, because I had a lot of fun with this movie, man. I mean, aside from, I've never seen a plane so empty before. Like, I don't know if you guys have, but I've never seen a plane where it's like barely any passengers.
Yeah.
So, you've seen it before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell? I ain't never seen a plane that goddamn empty.
Fly more.
Maybe I should. But man, I just had a lot of fun here. The action I thought was very, very well done. In the moment, I really enjoyed my time in the theater, and I had to go across town, so I was already hating that shit. But to actually sit there and watch it, you don't really feel the runtime too much. It's like an hour and 42 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't feel the runtime at all. I had fun, man. I'm giving it some matinee.
When you say rental, man, so a lot of people think that I'm, like you said, like I didn't like it. Like this movie we always say it would come on HBO in the middle of the night.
It'll be on HBO Max in like a month or a couple months or something like that.
And if you're up at night, you're flipping channels and you see this, like if I saw it, I'd stop and I'd watch it. I wouldn't think anything special of it. I'd be like, I didn't feel like I wasted my time. I don't. Now I paid to see this, by the way, too.
You sure did.
Yeah, because I didn't go to the screen I had last night because I had something to do and it was across town. But I paid to see it. So, and I paid $15 to see it. Was it worth my $15? No, it was not. It was worth, it was worth watching at home for, probably a rental price. I would like, if I really, really wanted to watch something, I just had to get my action on. I might, all right, $5. I'll watch this for $5. I'll get it from Redbox or something. Or better yet, it was worth my HBO Max or whatever. It was cool to have it. Yeah. Man, this is why I got HBO Max, but to watch cool stuff like this. But I did not, my $15 did not feel like it was worth going to theater for.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, because I was like, if I'd have paid $15, I don't know how I'd have felt.
And as you see, there's 2 people in here who did enjoy it. So, that says something that there's an audience out there who don't mind going to the theater. I'm just a sucker that paid for it.
You had your chance.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I don't regret paying for it, not at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have paid. I sat there and enjoyed myself, but I didn't. I definitely said, man, if I wasn't reviewing this and I had to, I paid $15 out of the blue to see it, for reviewing it, not a problem at all. But $15 just to go, nah, I wouldn't have done that.